Right. Good morning, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Please,
Thank you, sir.
please introduce yourself to all of us.
My name is Heshma Ejaz. I was born and brought up in Rawalpindi. I completed my graduation from National University of Sciences and Technology in Applied Biological Sciences. My final year research was on cancer. During my time at NUST, I worked as executive publications for NUST BioReef Society. I also worked as director of external relations for NUST Student Club. After graduation, I gave my first CSS attempt and remained unallocated. However, I persisted. Side by side, I learned UI UX designing and software testing. A few months back, I moved to Portugal, and there I have been working as a freelance software tester.
So what is the job description of freelance software tester?
So freelance software tester, I work as user acceptance testing. So when a web application or any mobile app, when it gets made, and then it is sent to user for user acceptance testing, where we see if there is any problem in the app, if it is working all right, if all the requirements of the clients are fulfilled. For example, if the client wants a certain kind of font or a certain color, if that is there in the app or not. So all of those things.
And how do you see the future of artificial intelligence?
I think the future of artificial intelligence is bright, since it is now in the hands of every other person. First, it was thought that artificial intelligence would be there for the use of states and big multinational corporations. But with ChatGPT and chatbot of Google called Bard, now everyone is using artificial intelligence, and I think that it is going to exponentially increase in the near future.
What is your update about election in Taiwan?
Sir, the leader who won, Mr. Lai, is said to be someone who wants separation of Taiwan from China, and it is being said that US is happy with the elections and China isn't very happy because Mr. Lai is not in favor of joining China in the near future, at least.
So how do you see the recent development in the Middle East?
So the recent development in Middle East is it is very unfortunate because it is moving towards the expanding of the war in other areas as well. The attacks by US and UK on Houthi rebels in Yemen and attacking the sovereignty of a country, violating international law. I think it is going to include other countries like Iran might also now jump to protect her proxy, and I think it will lead to a catastrophe. It can lead to a catastrophe, sir.
Now there is a conflict in Yemen. US and UK, they have invaded Yemen. Why they have invaded?
Sir, because the Houthi rebels, they were attacking the ships of Israel that were passing through Red Sea. They were doing so because Israel is at war with Gaza, and they were no person was killed, but it was seen as a violation of the free passage, which is there in international law also. And US, sir, is protecting the international waters and wants to maintain the free trade and freedom of seas for all the people of the world.
How do you see the role of United Nations system in resolving the conflict in the world?
So United States, at least now, looks quite handicapped because UN Security Council that the resolutions of UN Security Council are binding, and they can stop the conflict. However, there is a veto system because of which US consistently vetoes all the resolutions that are passed for ceasefire. Then even in UN General Assembly, there have been resolutions that were passed in quite majority for ceasefire, but since they are not binding, so there is no action taken on them. As for ICJ, which is also part of UN, there is an ongoing case that South Africa took there against Israel because Israel is a signatory of Geneva Convention, and the proceedings of that, they are to be seen in the future.
Please tell us something about the social security system in Islam.
The social security system in Islam, I think, sir, the system of zakat is the major tenet. Apart from that, zakat is given by the rich of the people, the rich people of a society to the poor people of the society, so that they can also live a life that is dignified. Apart from that, there are also other tenets like sadqas that are given, social security system, the rights that are given to women, children, that also come under the social security system of Islam, sir.
Thank you. God bless.
This is your first choice.
So,
How challenging, in your view, is the job of the Deputy Commissioner?
I think it is quite challenging because there is a lot of pressure, I believe, because they have to report to their seniors also. And I think that in a developing world, in a developing country like Pakistan, where there's so many issues of law and order, where people are not, all the people are not educated. There is 62% literacy rate in Pakistan. There is not enough awareness. So working in environment, especially in the rural environment, and even in urban environment where there is urban sprawl and increase of population, I think it is a tough and challenging job, sir.
What factors have to be kept in view while formulating the foreign policy of Pakistan?
Sir, factors, for example, the constitution of the country, Article 40 says that Pakistan needs to have good relations with Muslim countries. That should be taken into consideration. Apart from that, sir, the economy of the country, basically, sir, all the domestic factors, they play a pivotal role in formulating the foreign policy of the country. So right now, the domestic policy and the domestic issue of economy is at forefront. So that is and should be taken into consideration.
What factors do you think are, as far as Pakistan is concerned, what factors are more important or could be more important in the determination of its foreign policy?
So I think the economy, because Pakistan has pivoted from its strategic and political decisions that the country has been taking for quite some time, and now wants to go towards geo economy as compared to geo strategy that it was the decision that it was taking before.
How do you see the police as an organization?
Sir, I see police as an organization that maintains law and order of the country. It is again an important organization for any country to work. Again, I'll come back to economy because it is the pressing situation. If country has law and order, more people will invest in the country. There will be more trust on the institutions of the country. However, there has been political interference in Pakistan police, and there has been discussions that it shouldn't be the way it is.
So, what can you propose to make the police work with greater responsibility and effectiveness?
Sir, I think increasing the remuneration packages will help, as the case study of motorway police is taken. Secondly, sir, I think more accountability in terms of inter-institutional accountability, intra-institutional accountability. And sir, I think the first point that I mentioned in terms of remuneration, I think it will also decrease the political interference because people will be more financially independent, the individuals and officers of the police. Apart from that, sir, the whistle blower provisions should be there, integrity pledges, such tools.
Okay. In the Police Order 2002, what instruments have been specified for the external accountability of the police?
So in terms of Police Order 2002, sir, as far as I can recall, it was more about building trust with the people, it had more tilt towards community policing.
No, accountability, I'm saying. To hold the police accountable for their wrongdoings. There are some institutions, there is some mechanism specified there in the Police Order 2002. What is that?
Sir, I will have to read up on it.
You should. And who is Pakistan's permanent representative at the United Nations?
Sir, Mr. Munir Akram.
Right. Who has won the elections in Taiwan, and how it is, you see, it is being reflected at the global level?
So Mr. Lai has won the elections, and he is someone who does not want Taiwan to become part of China, like China has been wanting it for many years. People think that political scientists believe that the election and the selection of Mr. Lai, it will lead to increase of gap between US and China because his election suits the foreign policy of USA more than it suits China.
And finally, what are the governance? Tell us about some of the governance issues of a country.
Sir, governance issues. Sir, I think first of all, there is no inclusivity. The women role in governance is very minimal. Same goes for the minority of the country. Their role is also not much in the working of the governance. Second, sir, the good governance indicator of accountability. Pakistan, sir, lands at 140 out of 180 nations in corruption index. So there is increase of corruption that leads to decrease in transparency and accountability. Apart from that, sir, on rule of law index, again, Pakistan does not perform very well. So rule of law, sir, the prerequisite of a good governance actually is democracy. And again, in Pakistan, there is political instability, and democratically there is confusion in the country. So, sir, I think these are
okay. How do you see, last question, how do you see the Supreme Court's yesterday's decision on the bat, the symbol which was allotted to PTI?
Sir, the Supreme Court's decision should be respected. It is the prime most important body of any country. However, sir, the constant change of precedents and the trend that is of not following the precedents, for example, Peshawar High Court and then Supreme Court. So there is a lot of confusion, I would say, in the government as to whom to trust and whom to follow.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSP पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी।
Heshma, you read sciences as well as social sciences. Can you tell me that very comprehensive, what is major difference between science and social science?
I think science at times is blinded by facts. So they have to have experimentation and proper facts to make a thesis and then to make and any assumption. But science, social sciences, they are based on assumption, they are based on human behavior. So I think there is more flexibility and more creativity, I would say, in terms of social sciences.
In terms of, what do you know about positivism?
So positivism is the field of law where if it is contrary to naturalism, basically. So naturalism is that if nature dictates law, and positivism is that if people are behind it.
Positivism in social studies like international relations.
So,
okay, can you tell me that who wrote Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection and in which year?
Sir, Charles Darwin wrote it.
In which year?
Sir, I can tell about century. I think it was the 16th century.
No.
Sorry, sir, I'll read up on it.
Okay, you read international relations. Can you tell me that as 1648 to 1945, what sort of political system emerged that governs or regulated the world politics?
1658, the major was Treaty of Westphalia after 30 years of war.
Yes,
so
I know, but what sort of system?
There is a system of nation state with sovereignty.
Is it bipolarity, unipolarity, multipolarity, or non-polarity?
Sir, till 1945, it was multipolarity.
Multipolarity.
Sir, multipolarity.
Trace back origin of international community. Which incident you think is the basis of beginning of international community?
International community, I think, sir, Treaty of Westphalia after Treaty of Westphalia, if I'm not wrong, sir.
Okay, Declaration of Man, Rights of Man in France, French. It got inspiration from which incident?
Also from American independence and from American Declaration of Independence.
And American Declaration of Independence got inspiration from which treaty or charter?
From Magna Carta of UK.
Okay. What do you know? What is the Kruger telegram? When this incident happened in European history?
I can only think of Zimmerman telegram at the moment. I'll have to read upon it, sir.
Okay, then tell what is the significance of Stalin Battle of Stalingrad in the Second World War?
So, sir, it led to defeat of Germany. It was a siege, and Red Army persisted and defeated Germany, sir.
Okay, can you tell me that Vietnam was colony of which European power?
The Vietnam was a colony of France, sir.
France.
Before
And when
World War II.
French rule over Vietnam ended?
Sir, right at the end of World War II, sir. Then Japan took over, and afterwards it was there was war in Vietnam in 1955.
Okay, what do you know about the Charter Act 1833?
The Charter of 1833 was basically when EIC was there in subcontinent. It was a charter that legalized the colonization of subcontinent by British Parliament, and they started
Fine.
the system of meritocracy
Fine.
and civil society.
What is the positive aspect of doctrine of lapse?
So the positive aspect, if one has to become a devil's advocate, it would be that if there is no inheritance and if there is to be a war, then it is better that the state takes control of the areas.
My last question. On what ground Indian National Congress rejected Cripps mission?
Cripps mission, sir, they were against the vivisection of India, and they thought that it can lead to the divide in India, because they said that if someone does not want to be the part of the dominion, they can separate from the dominion.
Thank you.
Challenging. Heshma, good. You have made a lot of improvement.
Thank you, sir.
Today you are more balanced, composed, improved. ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
तो अब ये है कि when is your interview?
Sir, अभी schedule नहीं हुआ, but probably in the mid of February.
So you have got time.
Sir.
तो अब ये this is a good luck कि you have got time. तो अब आपने ये करना है कि remain मतलब in a state of war, हालत जंग में रहो, ठीक है ना? और फोकस करो न्यूज़पेपर पे, क्योंकि करंट इश्यूज इसी में आ रहे हैं, ठीक है ना? तो अपना जो है ना इंटरव्यू कन्वर्सेशन है, तो आपने अपना इमेज इंप्रूव करना है, सेल्फ इमेज को फोकस करना है. यू आर सेलिंग योर सेल्फ एज ए पर्सन हु आई एम, ठीक है ना? ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हु यू आर, अपने आप को डिस्क्राइब करना सीखें, ठीक है ना? तो दिस वे यू विल बी एबल टू मेक इट इन अ वेरी वेरी बेटर स्कोर. कीप इट अप, ठीक है ना? तो अल्लाह करे कि जब तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू उससे पहले देख लेना एक दफ़ा फिर एक सेशन हमारे साथ कल. यू सी दिस इज ए प्रैक्टिस इंटरव्यू, ये मॉक इंटरव्यू प्रैक्टिस करवा रहे हैं तुम्हारी, तो वहाँ भी यही कुछ होगा. लेट मी श्योर यू कि हमसे ज़्यादा सियाने नहीं है.
इसमें ये जो है ना, देखिए वो जो चैलेंजिंग जॉब था उसमें आपने बड़ा जनरल सा जवाब दिया है, ठीक है? डिप्टी कमिश्नर के फंक्शन है, जैसे रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन बड़ा बेसिक प्राइमरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी तो कलेक्टर कहलाता है, उसका आप इग्नोर कर गई हैं कि उसमें फिर उसका जो डेवलपमेंट का काम है डिपार्टमेंट के साथ कोऑर्डिनेट करना, उनको ओवरसी करना, सुपरवाइज करना और उनको करना, तो ये इन चीज़ों को भी आपको मेंशन करना चाहिए था, ठीक है? इसी तरह पुलिस ऑर्डर को ज़रा स्टडी करें, देखें. आपने PSP रखी हुई है, उसमें पुलिस की अकाउंटेबिलिटी और जो है पुलिस की वर्किंग को ट्रांसपेरेंट बनाने की जो है ना उसमें तरीके बताए हुए हैं, किस तरह से पुलिस को हम अकाउंटेबल ठहरा सकते हैं इंडिपेंडेंटली, आउटसाइड, एक्सटर्नली. इंटरनली तो है ही है, वो तो अपना सिस्टम चल रहा है, उसको किस तरह से हम कर सकते हैं जो है. और उसमें कुछ नेशनल पब्लिक सेफ्टी कमीशन है, प्रोविंशियल पब्लिक सेफ्टी कमीशन है, तो ये इन चीज़ों को आप जाकर देखिएगा, ठीक है? और बाकी ठीक है, आपके जवाब अच्छे थे.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
आपको पता है जेके रोलिंग के कितने जो स्क्रिप्ट्स हैं रिजेक्ट हुए थे?
ये पता है काफी ज्यादा हुए थे एग्जैक्ट
एंड
नंबर
इन द एंड शी गॉट
वार्नर ब्रोस के साथ
एग्जैक्टली।
ऐसा।
अच्छा, अब पता है कि 85% से 90% तक जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं ना वो चले जाते हैं हमारे स्कूल और कॉलेजेस यूनिवर्सिटीज में। 90% से अबव करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट जॉब होता है। आज आपके आंसर्स बहुत अच्छे थे। आपके इंटरव्यू में जो पहला आपने क्वेश्चन आंसर किया था डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस इन फ्रेंच, उसको रिलेट किया अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन के साथ और मैग्ना कार्टा के साथ। दिस टेल्स द होल स्टोरी। इट मीन्स कि यू हैव अ थॉरो रीडिंग और आपने बड़े काम एंड कंपोज वे में उसको आंसर किया था। दिस इंडिकेट्स बाकी के सारे क्वेश्चन तो मैंने बस ऐਵੇਂ ही आपसे पूछ रहा था, बाकी के भी आपने अच्छे आंसर्स दिए। अब आपको बताना ये है कि आप 90% तक जैसे स्कूल और कॉलेजेस में तो वहाँ तक आगे होंगे। अब जो आपकी एफर्ट होगी ना उससे ऊपर वाली एफर्ट है। बॉक्सिंग के मैचेस में जो लास्ट राउंड्स होते हैं ना वो ज़्यादा हैवी, बहुत हैवी होते हैं। उनके लिए एनर्जी बचा के रखता था मोहम्मद अली बॉक्सर्स, जो कभी देखे उसके मैच। तो अब आपने उस पोजीशन में चले गई हैं कि उससे ऊपर आपने स्कोर करना है। ठीक है,
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो
Keep
मच
it
सर।
up. Keep it up.
Thank you.